Yeah, I want you to think a little more deeper into it because let's pick up number 4. All right. I heard a couple of you saying my child will come and tell me if he is uncomfortable. Right. Now, if we are already thinking like that, then we already have a kind of a belief that everything is fine because he's not telling me otherwise, right? And I'm quite confident that he will come and share. But obviously, somewhere we are assuming, right? We are assuming that he will or she will come and share, right? I don't know if that is really totally completely true or not. Can we just assume that? Do we even want to assume that, right? I don't know here, but even the first one, right? When we say, look at it this way: when we say it's possibly okay, it's a social norm, you know, whatever, to touch the child's cheek, he isn't showing any discomfort. If he's uncomfortable, then he will tell, right? Now look at it this way: what is the message the child is getting? First of all, the child is getting a message that it's all right for people to touch me. Right? Not just all right, it is something which is celebrated. People laugh, giggle. It's a sign of affection, right? Now, what does that mean? I don't know. But what it means to the child could be very confusing, which means today it is pinching the cheek is a sign of affection. Tomorrow, if the person pinches elsewhere, even that is also a sign of affection. Why not? Especially if the person is saying so. The person could be saying, I love you, and touching anywhere else. Right? So again, are we assuming that it's all right, that the child is not making faces, child is not giving me a negative signal, so everything is all right? But I don't know. I don't know what message the child is getting. Maybe the child is just plain confused. Or maybe the child has already concluded that this is okay. Is that okay with us? If the child is not showing any displeasure, so let's say, I don't think anybody likes to be, for the cheeks to be pulled. Really. If you don't agree with me, I'll pull it right now and show to you. I can do that right now, and I'm sure I'll get a slap back. But no, none of us like me. If we don't like it at this age, we don't like it at any age. It's painful, as simple as that, right? When you pull the cheek, physical pain, and apart from all the privacy getting invaded and all that. On top of that, so it's definitely not comfortable. But if the child is not showing any discomfort, I'm looking at it just the opposite way. I'm saying, hello, what does that mean? He's already made peace with this, and that's dangerous. Because if he has made peace with this, he could be making peace with many more actions, and he would be happy with those. And if he would be happy with those, why would he come and tell you? You see how complicated it is. Such a simple thing, something which happens every day in a supermarket, at a party, at a get-together. All kinds of people pull the cheek, and we just take it. We may not be liking it, we may be uncomfortable with it, but per se we are not doing anything about it, right? For whatever reason, I'm not getting into the reason. I'm just saying, what are the consequences of it? What message are we sending to the child? And even to that extent, what message we are sending to potential abusers, that this is a good way in. I can start there, and the family members are kind of with me in a way. Right? It has this is just an example, but I thought it's a very, since it's so commonplace and almost innocuous, almost taken for granted in the name of culture, family, love, affection, whatever name we want to give it. Let me start there and say, hey, what are we doing, right? Are we really understanding it from all dimensions, or are we only looking at it from just a couple of dimensions and saying maybe it's okay, he isn't complaining? To me, it's very dangerous if he's not complaining. I would be more worried. If he's complaining, I'll be less worried. Okay, he has some discomfort, at least he's giving some message, either by face or by words, as you said, nahi, whatever. So if he's uncomfortable, I'm happy. If I'm actually happy. If he's comfortable, I'm unhappy. Whoever gave it the idea that you can be comfortable with it, that's dangerous. Because I was seeing a whole lot of videos on YouTube, and I was going through a lot of publications and visuals, and the funny and the sad part was almost all videos and the visuals talked about the child always coming back and saying this was uncomfortable, and I disagree with that, because the child could actually be comfortable with it. Now what? Possible? Here is an example. Right. So I'll just come to you. So the whole thought process that okay, only when the child is uncomfortable we need to get alarmed, and then that the child invariably will be uncomfortable with some touch or some action is misplaced. Right? It's not necessary that the child will be uncomfortable. Right? Just like in this act, this is such a simple, innocuous thing. It's actually not innocuous. Yeah.
So, is it that so taking the child, and hugging him and kissing him, they are also done as love and affection by the immediate family and everything, and obviously if extended family comes. So are we saying that it's not okay at all, or what? I'm confused here.
No. I'm not saying that don't do any of those. Right. I'm saying some simple thing. Just next slide, please. Shilpi. Just click on this. I'm just saying don't assume. That's all I'm saying. Right? I'm not saying don't stop anything or change anything per se in terms of behavior, in terms of actions. I'm saying just stop assuming that, let's say my child is okay. That to me is an assumption, right? Or that if he's okay, it is okay.
It sometimes also it might not be a very pleasant thought that I have sometimes, but it's like okay, this happens as part of the society, and I can't help it. Sometimes that also comes.
Yeah.
If my in-laws are there, my parents are there, and my extended family is there. If someone is doing, I cannot say to elders.
Right. So I'm with you, Anjali. I'm stressing. I'm not talking about stopping all this. I'm not there as yet. I'm not talking about stop hugging, stop kissing, or stop doing anything in this world. No. I'm not there at all. I'm saying how are we seeing it? I'm saying stop assuming. So stop assuming all the assumptions that you think you are making. I don't know which all you are making.
Assuming that he's not uncomfortable.
Yeah, let's say for that as an example. Let's say if you're thinking that he's okay because his face says it's okay, let's not assume that. So and there will be many more assumptions, right? So I'm just saying let's stop assuming. Right? If the previous slide was all about that, like a lot of people just assume my child will not be, let's say, abused, right? While we know 1 in 2 get abused, right? Oh, he's a boy will not get abused, girls will get abused, right? Or he's not big enough, right? This whole thing about big enough, right? That big enough won't get abused, okay? And so on. Meaning there are only few that I have put down here, right? Or the child will come and tell me. The child tells me everything. Now, right? Child will never keep a secret from me, right? And in the same breath, when the child tells a lie, we scold the child, not realizing that the act of telling a lie is what? Is telling me something, right? The act of telling a lie is telling me that child not comfortable sharing with me the truth. Now, if the child is not comfortable sharing the truth about a cookie or whatever, then why am I assuming that the child is comfortable with me sharing about something else? Which let us assume the child would be either more uncomfortable, less uncomfortable, more guilty, less guilty, etc. Right? So I'm just saying I'm not there. I'm not stopping anything. I don't think I can do that, or I don't even want to do that. There are a lot of healthy things also happening out there. There's their relationships. There's understanding each other, and it's also to me, body has its own way of connecting with others. So there are lots of healthy things happening here. So I'm not trying to talk stop anything, right? I'm trying to just not get stuck with assumptions, right? To me, the biggest issue happens is because we put these assumptions in front of us, and then what we are not able to see, what we could be able to see, and that's exactly my most important point. Because when you start seeing it beyond assumptions, without assumptions, then you'll be able to come up with your own ideas of what to do about it. Right? Just to give you a very simple example, if you want to stop assuming that he is liking it, what would you do? So you're not sure now. You stopped assuming, let's say, and you say, I'm not sure whether he's liking or not liking. So what would you do? Yeah.
Then I would probably talk to him.
See, you got an action out of you.
Yeah, I would
Because you
probably talk
stopped
to him whether
assuming.
he's like.
Till now it was all in your mind and you rejected it based on some assumptions. Now that the assumption is not there, you are thinking in terms of actions, and there you go. See, you have your own solution. I don't have to tell you the solution.
Then I would probably empower him that he has the right to say no when he doesn't.
There you go. So you're already on that. See, you remove the blinker and you've got all pathways ahead of you. I don't have to come in that way. I don't have to start preaching this is what you should do, this is what you should, which is what the other issue I have with a lot of these websites and videos. They come up with straight on, do this, as if that's the only path, or that path will bear me fruits always. Right? Life is not so simple, relationships are not so simple, situations are not so simple, things are all very complicated, right? We're talking about human beings here. Me as human being, my child as another human being, and let's say the abuser and the non-abusers, all relationships as all human beings. So it's all very complex. Complex in the sense that there's a lot of interactions and a lot of different needs and wants and desires and so on. And we'll talk about that a little more.